Why do I labour on some of these things? Well, we've already discussed in episode 134 of Bite Size Bible that the beast from the sea is potentially the Antichrist. And when we've looked at the rapture, that because of the horrors of the tribulation, there's the pre-tribulation position and the mid-tribulation position sees the church being removed before all the horrors of the tribulation come. And it seems that the second half of the tribulation is truly horrific as this beast takes on authority. For many people, the imagery of 10 heads and 10 crowns speaks of a one-world system. And certainly as we begin to look at the third character, the third bad guy that we see through the second half of the tribulation, there certainly seems to be this picture being created of a one-world system, a one-world government and a one-world religious system. We might look today and say, well, that doesn't seem very possible given all the divisions that there are around the world. But if we're honest, you'd probably, it's not too far to think that given the right circumstances, given the right set of conditions, it could be possible for one sort of messianic, charismatic leader to rise up. Just imagine that if you had a worldwide pandemic that caused famine and disease and death, if you had worldwide natural disasters, where the world was in danger, if you had worldwide wars, you could see the characteristics being created for the need for a one world system to come in. In fact, if you look through the 7 seals that begin the tribulation and the nature of those 7 seals, you see those very conditions being created that would create the conditions for the world to look for some sort of saviour to rescue them. So the prophecy that we see in Daniel 7 of one king rising up who would have this sense of defying God and recreating the way that worship happens, and we see that there's the potential for the conditions to be created. Some people look at this one world system and they say, well, we can see that through the Roman Empire that was. Some people would look at it and say, actually, we see a recreated Roman Empire coming up. And some people would even look at things like the Catholic Church as being part of that. And that's not something that I'm going to get into or discuss here. Other people would look at Europe as being a 10-nation system. They would look at the Treaty of Rome that formed it and the 10 stars on the flag. There's lots of speculation that goes on here, and I don't want us to get drawn into the speculation, but other than to recognise that there seems to be, through the second half of the tribulation, this idea, and not everybody agrees with this, but there seems to be this sense of a one world system being created. What is that one world system? What we can draw is, we see that Satan is trying to create a world where he's in control, a world which pushes God out, and a world where he's worshipped, and doing away with the systems of the world, the religious and the political systems, and creating this one world system seems to be part of a plan to point people away from the living God and towards Satan.